Hey, what's up? I'd like to welcome you all to Water Your Soil. So this video is gonna be about how this credit card dropped my score 20 points. That's right, 20 points. So while you're here, be sure to hit the like button after the video. Be sure to subscribe. You should be subscribing anyways. But anyways, let's get right into it. You're probably wondering, what is this card? This card is the first credit card I ever had. It's a credit card from Best Buy. It was a credit limit of $300. I know some of you probably wondering like, okay, so why block it out? Of course, even though the card is now closed out, I'm gonna block out my personal information. And no, to you YouTube scalpers or whatever you wanna call yourself, no, this is not someone else's credit card. This was mine, but it's no longer able to be used and hasn't been for years. But this card is gonna be what I'm talking about in this video. This card right here. So let's go. So check this out. So I got that card, I believe it was back in 2006. I knew nothing about credit. I knew in regards to credit as far as you needed credit in order to be able to get things such as a car loan and things of that nature. But I didn't really know much about credit. So when it came to this card, I was happy to get it. You know, someone told me to apply for it. They was like, you know, apply for a Best Buy card and see if you get approved. So I applied and I got approved. They gave me a $300 credit limit. So my credit limit was $300. So I got a $300 credit limit with the Best Buy card. So when I had the card and I first had it, you know, I didn't know anything about credit cards. I didn't know anything about utilization. All I knew was you had to pay your bill on time whenever you got billed. So instantly when I got my bill, I saw that it said, hey, a $25 minimum payment. So that's what I'm gonna pay. So I will always just pay the minimum payment, but I will always pay the bill on time. So this will go on until I eventually will pay it off and buy something else and pay it off and buy something else. But I wouldn't pay it off like I know how to pay things off now. I would take my time with paying it off. You know, it would take me months upon months to pay off a $280 balance because I didn't know what I was doing. But once I got the card finally paid off and other things in life transpired and took place, I didn't pay any attention to it. I actually forgot that I had the card. I knew I had it, but I forgot. So I would say about 2013, I stopped using the card. I didn't go and use the card at Best Buy anymore. I didn't think I needed the card. So I really didn't pay it any attention. So it was years upon years with no usage on the card. They even switched lenders as far as the credit card was concerned. I don't know if it was Citi, Capital One. It was one of them. I can't remember which one it was, but they even switched lenders. So I paid it on mine. Then in 2014, whoever had it, I think it was Citi, I believe Citibank, I'm not sure, but they closed down the card. And of course, I didn't know they closed down the card because I wasn't paying any mind anyways. So they closed down the card and I'm like, I don't care. But as I always tell people, most people do not need their credit score or anything related to their credit score until they need it and they're desperate. And I know that sounds kind of like, what? They don't need it till they need it. What I mean is people are not going to pay attention for the most part to their credit score as far as improving their credit score and maintaining it until they know and realize they need something. Maybe it's a house, maybe it's a car loan, an auto loan. It could be a personal loan. It could be for anything, but most people aren't really gonna pay attention to their credit score until they know they need something. So I was in need of a car, as you saw in the videos prior that I posted, and you know, I ended up getting my credit report pulled up. I see that the Best Buy card was on there, but it said closed. So I'm like, what in the world, closed? So I called Best Buy. And they're like, yeah, the card closed down. And I'm like, wait, this could help my credit score. There's no way that you could keep the card open. And they're like, no, you can open up a new account. You could apply for a new account for a new card, but that credit card closed. It closed like 4 months ago. So 4 months, if I had called 4 months prior, I probably would have had the card still, but it was closed. So they said it was nothing they could do except give me a new card. And you know, when it came to me, I'm just like, oh man, I messed up. So the card remained on my credit report. It remained on my credit report, and I was just thinking like, man, I can only imagine what it'd do for me if it was open. So the card stayed on my credit report up until recently, and I'm gonna show you right now what I mean. So as you can see, the Best Buy credit card, by them taking it off, it crashed my credit report. What it did, it gave me years upon years of credit history, and that's a good thing. Even though it was closed, it was still helping my credit history. So years upon years of credit history was on my credit report. You figure I got the card in 2006, this is 2021. However, eventually closed accounts fall off of your credit score. And this is why I made this video, because people often say, hey man, cut that credit card up and put it away and don't use it. Well, if you do that, there's a good possibility that the credit card lender or distributor will close the card. And if they close the card, it will have a small impact on you in the short term, but long term is when it's gonna hit you. You figure it hit me for 20 points, and that was just with TransUnion. So this is why I tell people to always leave their credit cards open, no matter what. Even if you gotta go and buy a bag of potato chips or go and buy gas every month with the card, whatever you do, try your best to leave your credit cards open, because what credit card leaving them open does, it helps your credit history. And it's gonna help your credit history in the long term, because of the way how credit history works is the longer you have your credit card or account on your credit report, the better it is. So 2006, let's say 2006 is when I got that card, because it was. Let's say fast forward to 2026, that would have been 20 years of credit history had I kept that card open. And this is why it's important. I'm pro being against, you know, debt. I'm not interested in debt. I don't believe in carrying consumer debt. Definitely don't believe in carrying consumer debt. That's not smart at all. However, if you know how to use your credit cards the correct way, do your best to keep your credit cards open, because keeping your credit card open will help your credit report. It's more pros to keeping your credit card open than there are cons. Of course, you know, people who are on the debt-free journey, they're going to tell you to cut it up and don't use it because they don't want you overspending. But you have to discipline yourself enough to not overspend. Discipline yourself enough to assign one thing on those cards that you will go and get in order to keep the card open. Because as I stated, in the long term, keeping a credit card open is very beneficial in the long term. Maybe in the short term, you'd be like, oh, I don't use this card, or oh, this card, you know, it's just there, and if I use it, I'm gonna go into debt. Find the discipline inside of yourself to keep the card and assign a low amount to spend on it. It could be something small, but leave something. Spend something on that card, and in return, this will keep the card open. It will at least keep the card open and thriving because you're using it. Because like I stated, if the lenders do shut down the card, it's a high possibility, maybe not in the short term and in the present, but in the long term, they're probably gonna hit your score once it falls off your credit report. And who knows, maybe you'll be trying to get a home loan, or you may need an auto loan. You can't predict what's gonna happen 7 to 10 years down the line. So you have to have it set out in your mind and think long term. Even though some people like to think in the short term, it's still good to think long term. And credit history is something that can help you and benefit from in the long term. So the longer you keep these credit card accounts open, the better. And be sure to remember that, you know, you don't have to go out and purchase large purchases and things of that nature, but it is very smart. It's a smart move to keep the cars open. I would like to thank you all for watching Water Your Soil. If this video helped you in any kind of way, be sure to hit the like button. And of course, be sure to subscribe. This is a new channel I started in February, but I'm giving you consistent content. This is over my 100th video. This was 101. Keep it coming. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you.